Hello everyone, Fat Man on a Mission here, and I am in the middle of what started off to be one of my 5Ks, and well, I guess technically it is, but time is not going to matter on this one. I have fallen in love with the scenery and the architecture of this county. What county is it? Well, it's Hall County, and the county seat where I am right now is Memphis, Texas. Now, I'm going to tell you some interesting things about it, and I'm going to be showing you some photos later on in my photo log once I have a chance to upload those when I return to the Fat Cave later on today. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about Hall County, a fairly fascinating story. Now, this county came to be back around 1890, and the county was split off from Bexar County, which used to control probably about the western third or so of Texas until they started breaking it up. Now, the county was formed, still really no cities or anything else, and then an enterprising young man decided where his dugout used to be, he would plat that out and try to get a city formed. And he was able to do so. Now, once that happened, they were years trying to come up with a name because every name they would suggest was rejected. Different reasons for that, but finally one day the gentleman was in Austin, Texas, and he happened to see a piece of mail laying on the desk of the bureaucrat he was speaking with, and the mail said Memphis, Texas, was to where, it was addressed to Memphis, Texas, but it was stamped no such place. See, the letter had intended to go to Memphis, Tennessee. It had just been miswritten. Well, he thought if there is no such place as Memphis, Texas, well, there will be now. And he chose that as the name. It was summarily approved, and Memphis, Texas came into being. Now, once that happened, the city began to grow fairly rapidly. And a lot of the enterprising folks who lived here, they decided to build up the town themselves, and they did it by making their own bricks. There are a lot of canyons around this area and a lot of clay soil, so they made their own bricks, and a lot of those you will be able to see in some of the photos that I'll be sharing with you in a photo album later on today. But some of the original brickwork is still standing here in town. The area became known as an agricultural center, which pretty much it still is to this day. Now it's primarily cotton and cattle, but at one time they had everything from sorghum to peanuts. Let me see what else. Cattle, of course. Wheat was down in this area, but cotton was king. And so the first thing that was built here was not a gin mill, but a gin press where they would mill out cottonseed oil. Now that is still being done, as is ginning of cotton, even though the acreages are different now than what they used to be. Oh, and the town, well, they wanted a railroad here. The railroad, based out of Fort Worth, they didn't see much need, and they had made plans to put the depot a little further to the north of here. Town people don't like that. And Texans, I tell you what, I gotta love you, because when you get something in mind, there's not a whole lot that's gonna stop you from achieving whatever that is. And sure enough, the locals began to smear the tracks with lye soap, which would bog the trains down and force them to stop here in town anyway. The railroad decided, you know what, if we're gonna have to stop, we might as well put a depot there to get these folks from gumming up the works with the lye soap on the railroad tracks. And so the train came to town, the town began to grow, and it's what it is now. It's a beautiful little town. If you get a chance, if you're traveling on 287, this is a gem of a town where you can spend some time. Once again, I am in yet another county, Hall County, in Memphis, Texas, as I continue my walk across Texas. I'm Fat Man on a Mission, and I'll see you on the road.